In Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, the price for peace is the death of innocence among the pilots and the loss of their own identities. Now, the death of their innocence is obvious. They were 16 years old and they and during the events of Gundam Wing, which would be just children at the time, and they fought. They had only known war up until then, and they also lose their identities not only when the conflict ends during the first time. They have to figure out who they are after the conflict and after all the rubble is rebuilt up. But they also lose themselves physically with their Gundams. They send them out to the sun to be destroyed or they blow them up. And that's something that their character was a part of for a long while. And at first it takes part of them too. Like it, Wu Fei and Hero have to fight over what is a place of soldiers within a society of peace and whether humanity actually deserves peace. Now, I also think that although they destroyed the Gundams and there's never going to be any more Gundams within the Gundam world, the peace is still somewhat fragile as uh, I believe that the narrator specifically said there was no more Gundams appearing, but there would still be conflict appearing between the humans and the human sphere. And I think that's emphasized by Marimea saying that conflict is like an endless waltz. Humanity will always trip over itself to continue fighting over the most uh, minuscule things. And I think historically that shows because even though we've had tragedies like the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which killed thousands in instance, uh, and throughout the and I think it never stopped conventional warfare itself, but it stopped people from using bombs such at that level. U.S. and Russia never engaged in atomic warfare because they knew it'd be the end of humanity, but they were still willing to engage in warfare in Vietnam and uh, the Middle East. And I think that's further, and I think that and my personal thoughts on Gundams, the Gundam series Endless Waltz, is that it's very pessimistic. It's a very pessimistic worldview, as no matter how you phrase it, humanity will never advance far enough to where we won't fight amongst each other. And I think at some point humanity could surpass our own misgivings and find true peace within ourselves. Thank you very much for listening to my video.